Thank you, thank you.
How does it feel?
It feels normal, honestly. Not too excited. Um, yeah, it doesn't. I'm not too excited, I would say. Um, yeah.
I kind of honestly expected that response from you. How do you build on that? Does it give you confidence or anything going into
Yeah,
Minnesota?
I would say, I'm looking to do much more than just a player of the week. That's just this week. I'm looking to do a lot more this season as a team, individually. And we got a lot of games to play, a lot of games left. And it's a new week. Like I said, I already forgot about last week. It's on to Minnesota, how we can beat them, and what I have to do to help this team win.
How much of a target do accolades like that make you?
I'm not sure. You'd have to ask the other team. We'll see this week. But so far, it hasn't been anything too crazy out there. Going against other teams, whether what you're talking about, whether they're doubling me or whatnot. I haven't seen too much of that, but we'll see what happens.
Have you started to see them play different since that hot stretch last year or during it, and or do you expect them to if they haven't?
Honestly, I couldn't tell. You'd have to ask them. But I haven't seen anything. No, not anything different.
How important is it for you as a receiver to understand your own shortcomings? You know what I mean? Like, obviously you fell in the draft because of size or speed or whatever, but to understand maybe what you don't do well, and then how do you compensate for that to become, to be as productive as you are, I guess.
For me, I just go out there and do what I do. The draft, it is what it is. Like, I think, even the Commanders, they got a guy before me over there. I believe his name is De'Ami Brown. I don't know how many catches he had. You guys can probably tell me that, or how many yards he had. But I don't forget things like that. I see him across the sideline from where I'm standing during the game, and I'm gonna give every team hell.
You honestly were watching Miami a little bit. Or
Yeah, I didn't see him in the game much.
like 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 Dave said, you fell because of the size and the speed and some of these things. But I saw there's a stat out there that you're the sixth fastest offensive player in the league on your 58-yard. And around, do you feel like that aspect of your game has been undervalued or underappreciated? Outside the team.
Yeah, people love to look at the 40-yard dash and whatnot. But if you know ball, you know ball. If a guy can play, he can play. And that's what the scouts are here to do. Some scouts are better than others. Some people evaluate talent better than others. But if you know how to play ball, you know how to play ball.
How much does it mean or help you that you play with an offensive coordinator who likes to look for things to do with the ball, likes to push the ball and get things, really a little bit different?
I love Coach Ben. I tell everyone this. His mentality, his way of doing things. I think it has to be, the young mind that he has. He's open to new ideas. He's always searching for the best way to get us open. And his willingness to throw the ball, to want to throw the ball. He was a receiver coach back on the Dolphins, so he knows. He knows what we go through out there on the field. He coaches us a lot out there, and yeah, I love Coach Johnson.
you said, I think it was you, maybe it was Ben, that one of your emphases of this offseason was working on yards after the catch. And right now there's a stat that's like you're averaging 6.5 air yards per catch and like 6.1 yards after the catch, so almost equal. Can you explain what you did? How'd you get better? At that.
Honestly, I would say it's a lot. It's not just going out there and saying you're going to be better at yards after the catch. You got to work it, every day in practice, catching and finishing. That's a thing that was huge for us in OTAs. All of us receivers, OTAs in camp, was catching and finishing. Quarterbacks, giving us a runnable ball, a ball that we can, not change our stride while we're catching it so we can keep running. There's so much that goes into it, whether it's a choice route, knowing to break in or out so you can get more yards after the catch. There's so much that goes into it, and I think we worked all that in OTAs and camp, and it's really paying off.
I know you're a team guy. You want the wins, but with regard to the record, the 8 catches and 8 straight games thing, which I'm sure you're aware of, how much pride do you take in something like that, an individual accomplishment like that, that's really speaking to the consistency you've been able to, find over the.
Yeah, I would say I take pride in consistency, definitely. That's something that I take, very seriously. But the records, it is what it is. I don't go into the game really thinking, let me get this record. It kind of just happened. Obviously, last game I knew that record was at stake that I broke. But I was, going into it, I was just playing ball, and it kind of happened how it did. Obviously, next week if I get 8 more, I break another record. I know that, obviously, but I'm going into the game just playing ball. I feel like the moment you start thinking about things like that is the moment you start playing slow, doing things that you wouldn't normally do. So for me, I'm just going out there and playing.
Beyond the record, you've I think Cooper Kupp's the only receiver who has more catches since like your hot streak started. So you're 20 games into your career, 19. This will be your 20. Do you already feel like you're one of the best in the business? I mean, have we reached that point here?
I feel that way.
Jared said these last 8 games haven't really felt forced. A lot of things have come naturally. Do you feel the same way?
I do. I feel like, our offense, we do a lot of different things with the receivers, move us around, motions and whatnot. And like Jared said, I don't feel like any of it was really forced. I mean, DJ, I don't know how many catches he had last game, but every game as a receiver, we get it. Every game is going to be different. Some games you might have 10 catches, some games you might have 2. That's just the way the cards fold. So we understand that as receivers, and that's the beauty of this game is, each week is a new week, and you gotta respect it.
How well do you
Couple
know
more.
Justin Jefferson, if at all? Just because he's another one of the top dudes.
How well do I what?
Know Justin Jefferson?
I have never met him. I don't know him at all.
Vikings
Just-
taking one before you?
They didn't know,
Last one. Just with
but they didn't draft me either. So I know they had some picks in there.
the amount of points you guys have put up statistically, you're up there ranking the entire NFL. A lot of people are really high on the offense. Is it real 2 strong showings in the first 2 games, or from the inside, is this the identity that we'll likely see for the whole season?
I feel like we could have done a lot better, honestly. We left a lot of meat on the bone, I feel like, in both of those games. You look at the Philly game, we had a few drives. We had penalties and whatnot, got in the red zone. Even last game, got in the red zone a few times early in the game on that 4th down, didn't convert. We feel like, as an offense, internally we feel like we could be, even better than what we've shown. And that's what I love about our team, about our offense is we're so hard on ourselves, even though, you're averaging about 35 points a game, which is pretty good if you ask anyone really in this league. But as an offense, we feel like we got to be better. And that's what, keeps me so excited, keeps us so motivated is it's a long season and we want to play our best towards the end.